In today's video, we're going to be talking about why I started to stack silver and gold about 3.5 years ago, and what went on during my stacking journey that led me to want to continue stacking for the long term. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about silver. I also wanted to talk about gold, but more specifically, I wanted to talk about why I started stacking in the first place and why I'm continuing to stack moving forward. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new.
Make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Brand new video over there. Go check it out. The link will be in the description. And if you want to get some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. But today
is Friday the 13th. Not very good. August 13th, 2021. It's actually Thursday the 12th as I'm filming the video, so I don't know what spot price is. Head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. But today I wanted to do something a little bit different. Today's video is going to be probably a little bit repetitive if you've been tuning in over the last couple of weeks, because I've made some of these points in former videos, but I wanted to make a very specific video for the brand new person out there, someone who just got started stacking or maybe hasn't even gotten started stacking yet and they're just looking into it. This is probably the video for them. This is going to give them a better understanding as to why I started stacking silver and gold in the first place. And it all started with this generic silver round. And I'm going to go through quite a few pieces of silver. I have it all sitting here right next to me, so don't worry, it's all going to be on display momentarily. But this video is going to be for the new person out there, and it's going to give a little bit of a backstory, how I got started, why I got started, and what's given me the confidence to continue moving forward and why I'm in it for the long haul. And yes, I know, the airtight is correct. I'm mad at myself. Ended up dropping it on the table. Anyway, this right here was my very first piece of silver. I picked it up in, I think, like the middle of December of 2017. I got it from my local coin shop. Spot price at the time was about $17.02, I think. And back then, premiums were really nothing to worry about. It was usually just like $1 or $2 over spot. I ended up paying a little bit more than I probably should have for this right here, but I would say it's absolutely worth it, because this particular silver round, even though it's just a generic piece of silver, it came with an airtight capsule, and it also came with this little display box from the coin shop. So I ended up paying like maybe $22, which isn't even bad. $22 for the silver round, the airtight, and the display case. It was at that very moment I knew I did not F up. I knew this was something that I wanted to do for the long term. All it took was one little piece of silver, holding it in my hand, to show me what it was like to have real money in my possession. You see, silver and gold, it's real, true, honest money. It's not just something that some people find interesting. It's more, much more than coin collecting. Silver, historically, is, always has been, and always will be, money. Internationally, constitutionally, and biblically. It's been money for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Long before the dollar bill, long before currency was even created, it all started with silver and gold. Which is why I've been drawn to it so much. It's so old. It's so trusted. It's been here for thousands and thousands of years. I'm pretty sure it's proven itself, at least in my opinion. So after I got that little silver round right there, I ended up getting some more. Just couldn't help myself. I didn't really know any better at the time, so I was under the impression that I should probably put them in little airtight tubes and capsules. So that's exactly what I did. These were some of my first silver rounds. I realized a little bit later down the road that they don't need to be in airtight tubes and capsules. They're just generic pieces of silver. They're nothing of a high premium or super collectible pieces by any means. So by the time I got those pieces of silver, I had realized this. So then I started getting these little plastic tubes for generic silver rounds, and I have several of these, plenty of silver in them as well. There are some more pieces of generic silver. This one right here at the top would have to be one of my favorites. Honest value, never fails. Cool silver round. By the time I had gotten all of those silver rounds, along with a couple other tubes worth of silver rounds, and by the way, if anybody needs any of these generic tubes, I'll leave a link in the description. Also, if you need any airtight tubes and capsules for higher premium collectible pieces, they'll also be linked in the description. As well as mint tubes for silver eagles. We'll get into that momentarily. So by the time I got all of these generic silver rounds, along with a couple other tubes full of generic rounds, I decided that I wanted to move on over to coins. I was willing to pay a slightly higher premium for the same amount of silver, but I knew that it was government backed, government minted, and I knew that it was trusted, desired, and recognizable anywhere on the planet. So I stopped paying attention to the generic silver rounds, and I started going after the American Silver Eagle. Now, I also knew off the bat that silver eagles don't need to go into airtight tubes and capsules. I was keeping them in these mint tubes, which were also linked in the description in case anybody needs these. They hold 20 silver eagles. The reason some of them are in airtight tubes and capsules is because I thought it would be a kind of cool idea to see if I can get my hands on one from every year. And as you can see, I have however many that is. I think like maybe 13, 14, 15, whatever it is. I have a decent amount of years, and they're all uncirculated and they're all capsulated. And I thought it was pretty cool, and then I kind of lost interest because I realized it was just kind of an unnecessary thing to do, and I was spending currency that I didn't really need to be spending because these airtights are a little bit more expensive than mint tubes. And not to mention, it takes up almost twice as much space. See right there at the bottom? Takes up a lot more space, and they both hold 20 silver eagles. So no more airtights for me, unless of course it's a higher premium collectible coin, which I just so happen to not even stack anyway. So no more airtights for me. I'll stick to mint tubes and generic tubes for coins, rounds, and even bars. So moving away from the silver eagle, or actually before we even do that, I was getting two different types of silver eagles. Same coin, some of which were uncirculated. You can see all of these are in beautiful condition. I mean, you can't see, but you could see they're all clean, sleek, and uncirculated. Whereas these culls or damaged silver eagles, you can tell that a lot of them are heavily tarnished or toned, have a lot of discoloration or scratches and whatnot. So I have a couple of tubes of each, mostly uncirculated, but anytime I would see some culls, I would snatch up a few, lowered the premium, and it was an easy way of adding weight to the stack. In addition to the silver eagle, I was also stacking the maple leaf, and I was doing the same thing. Uncirculated and culls. I have other miscellaneous coins, rounds, and bars as well. But this was all taking place during my first year of stacking. I got started in the first place to store value, just simply preserve my wealth for the long term. I figured putting my dollars into precious metals stood a far better chance than putting my dollars in a savings account at the bank, just because of inflation. And also, not to mention, the interest rates at the bank are a joke, if I'm going to be honest. Then moving away from my first year, and now moving into my second. Hey, by the way, really quick, I interrupt this video to bring you a giveaway. That's right, it's that time of the year. It's the middle of August, time for my annual back-to-school giveaway. I've been doing this for the last 6 years. If you have kids or grandkids or younger siblings or cousins, nieces, nephews, or your friend has kids or your neighbors have kids, whatever the case may be, I'm going to be giving away 2 $25 Staples gift cards, which you can use for pens, pencils, notebooks, whatever you need, school supplies. All you have to do if you want a chance to win is follow these 4 simple steps, really easy, really quick. Number 1, subscribe to both of my YouTube channels, this one and my second channel, which is linked in the description. 2, give this video a thumbs up. Just click the like button. Free and easy. 3, leave a comment on this video letting me know who you're entering for or why you're entering. Maybe it's for your kid, or maybe you are a kid and you're watching the video and you're entering. Make sure your parents know you're entering the giveaway, by the way. Or you're joining for a friend of yours who has a kid and they're starting 2nd grade or 10th grade or whatever the case may be. But also include what state or country you live in. That way I have kind of an idea of where the gift card may or may not go. And then, of course, 4, share the video with a friend. Copy and paste the URL, email it to them, text it to them, post it on social media, screenshot my YouTube channel and put it on Twitter and Instagram and say, hey, Mykie DYDSS channel has a back-to-school giveaway going on. Let your friends know, let your family know, let everybody know. That's it. That's all. This video is coming out on Friday. You have the entire weekend to get entered. And then as Sunday turns into Monday at midnight Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be randomly selecting 2 winners from the comment section. If, of course, you're subscribed to both my channels, like the video, leave a comment, and share with your friends. And if you end up being one of the 2 winners, make sure you are following me on either Twitter or Instagram so we can get in contact. You can give me your shipping address in a private message. That way it's not a public YouTube comment, and I can get you your Staples gift card ASAP. Best of luck. Back to the video. During my second year, I started focusing a little bit more on slightly larger denomination pieces of silver. I got myself a 5-ounce silver bar, which I'm not even sure if I have on me. Oh, I do have it right here. Little 5-ounce silver bar. And then I moved away from the 5-ounce silver bar, and I started focusing on 10-ounce silver bars. I have several of these. Same thing, Sunshine silver bar. I also have one other type of 10-ounce silver bar, this right here, which I technically got below spot, before spot price went crazy last year in 2020. Keep in mind, we're still talking about my second year of stacking at this point. Although I did get this recently. I probably shouldn't have even shown that, but it's alright. We're talking about 10-ounce silver bars. Moving away from my second year of stacking, or maybe halfway through my second year into my third year, I started focusing a little bit more on 90% junk constitutional silver. And the reason for this was because I had neglected it for my first, I don't know, year and a half or however long it had been. I was never really interested in 90% silver, and by 90%, I'm referring to pre-1965 quarters, dimes, and half dollars. All these right here are 90% silver, so each individual silver quarter weighs roughly 1/6 of a troy ounce of silver. Not bad. Half dollars, on the other hand, weigh a little bit more, obviously. They're a bigger coin. Each of these weigh about 1/3 of a troy ounce. And silver dimes weigh about 1/14 of a troy ounce. So I had realized that fractional silver rounds and bars were carrying a significantly higher premium, and these right here, 90% silver coins, are essentially fractional silver. I mean, not essentially. That's exactly what they are. Quite literally, they are fractional silver. Just kind of odd denominations. But they're government backed, government minted, trusted anywhere on the planet. Everyone knows what these are. If you understand precious metals, you know exactly what these coins are. If you know the first thing about coins, you'll be able to recognize exactly what these are, and you'll be able to know exactly how much silver is in them and how much they're worth according to spot price. So I spent my entire, it was either my second or third year, had to have been my second year actually now that I think about it, in 2019. That's when I made the decision. I was going to start putting in at least $1 face value, so 2 halves, 4 quarters, or 10 dimes, in every single order that I would place online or anytime I would stop by the local coin shop to get some silver. I would throw in a little bit of 90% silver for diversification, and I had been neglecting it since the very end of 2017. The entire year of 2018, didn't pick up any 90% silver. I think I did get a small portion of it Black Friday, Cyber Monday, but that's obviously the end of November, so I let that entire year go by before I picked up really any amount of 90% at all. And even though I still wasn't really into it, didn't really interest me as much as Silver Eagles did, or 10-ounce bars, or really anything else pure silver, still to this day, if I had to choose between 90% and pure silver, I would go with pure silver. But the 90%, I understood the importance, I understood the significance. I knew for a fact that diversification is absolutely key. Diversification is not something you should neglect. So I decided for myself that I was going to start to diversify. I was going to start to integrate some 90% into the stack. I figured it made the most sense. After 2019 had gone by, I spent a majority of that year focusing on some 90%, but I was also picking up as many Silver Eagles as I could. I don't even know if I picked up a single generic round that entire year. I was going after Silver Eagles for the most part. I was also going after a lot of Maple Leafs. See the Silver Eagle over there, foundation of my stack. This right here was always second in command. I would also go after some other coins, such as the Kangaroo, or potentially the Britannia. I would go after whatever I could get my hands on for the cheapest dollar amount. That was my strategy. That was my goal. I wanted to get the most money for my currency. So I started stacking in the first place to store value and preserve my wealth for the long term. And as the years had gone by, I was learning more and more. I was beginning to understand how the precious metals work. I was beginning to understand what drives the spot price up and down. I was beginning to understand that not only are they valuable metals just simply because we're told that they're valuable, but they have real, true, honest, intrinsic value, and they're used in all different industries all over the planet. And I thought that that was really cool. What else out there can you say is nearly as important as silver and or gold, other than time, other than food, other than shelter, other than oxygen? Silver and gold are incredibly, incredibly important. By the way, speaking of gold, I'm going to get into gold in a moment. Let me just put a couple more pieces on display. Some cool looking coins, rounds, and bars. This one right here, the 5-ounce silver Aztec calendar round. Still blows my mind how detailed, how beautiful this piece is. And then on the other side, really cool. So I spent most of 2019 picking up Silver Eagles, Silver Maples, and integrating 90% into the stack. Then 2020 happened, and Let's not talk too much about 2020. We don't speak of 2020 very much over here, but everything fell apart that year. The economy collapsed. The stock market crashed. People got their jobs taken away. Everything was a complete and total disaster. And silver and gold were both temporarily negatively affected. The spot price of silver at the time was about $18 and it fell down all the way to 12. Gold, I don't remember where it was, but I know it fell down to the $1,400 range. I want to say it was $1,600 or $1,700 to begin with. I think it fell down by a couple $100. And the premiums on absolutely everything went sky high. For that reason alone. All of a sudden, all of these precious metal dealing websites and companies, they got a lot of their inventory at 16, 17, $18, and now spot price is 12. If they were to sell, they're going to be losing currency. And there are two rules to business. There's a couple rules to business, but two key rules. Number one, make money. Two, avoid losing money at all costs. So, I understand business continuity. It's a pain in the neck, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So, it's out of my hands, out of my control. Nothing I can do about that. So, they cranked up the premiums through the roof to avoid losing currency. They also increased minimum orders, so you had no choice but to buy more than you normally would. And then spot price started to make a little bit of a recovery. It went back to $18, which is right where it was when it fell down in the first place. So spot price goes back to where it was, and the premiums were cranked up because spot price fell. You would think that the premiums would lower, but that's not what happened. Premiums stayed right where they were, and spot price went back to where it was. So now, the grand total dollar amount that it would take to convert into each individual ounce of silver was significantly higher than it was just a couple of months ago. And then spot price continued to go up. It went to 19, then it went to 20. Then 21, 23, 25, 27, $29. We've seen quite the pullback since. We're in the $23, $24 range at the moment. But premiums are still pretty high. I've been noticing that they've been lowering ever so slightly. Barely noticeable, but I notice. But being that everything was so chaotic last year, I spent 2020 primarily focusing on whatever in the world I can get my hands on for the lowest possible dollar amount. And I ended up getting some pretty cool deals. I ended up getting some pieces of silver that I never would have expected or could have ever seen myself getting. Half-ounce silver rounds. Like I said before, if you're going to go a fractional silver, 90% is probably a better way to go. High premiums typically. I got this for pretty close a spot though. I also got some Queen's Beast coins, which are collectible pieces, and I'm not really a collector, so this was never really anything that I could have ever seen myself getting. Got myself the 2-ounce Kraken from Canada's Creatures of the North series. I thought that this was probably going to end up being my first series that I would actually consider collecting the coins. And 2020 was the first one, which was this right here, and it was supposed to be 2 coins released every year for however many years they were going to run the series for. And they've yet to release the second coin, and it's been, I think at this point, over a year and a half. So I don't know what's going on with that. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really care too much. It would be nice, because it seems like a really interesting series, but I don't lose sleep over it. I also got plenty more 90% as well. And this isn't even all of it. These are just a couple of pieces that I have on hand. Got quite a bit of 90% last year. You know what else I got quite a bit of last year? The beautiful yellow metal. Here are a couple coins that I have. not every single piece of gold. My first piece of gold was actually a little 1 gram gold bar. I have it right here, and I got it just for diversification purposes. Paid kind of a high premium at the time, but spot price is significantly higher today than it was back then. So even though I paid a crazy high premium back then, even if I were to sell this at spot today, I'd still be ahead. But that's not my plan. I had gotten some other gold coins, 2018, 2019, but it wasn't until 2020 that I decided I wanted to start building an international troy ounce of gold for myself, 10 different 10th ounce gold coins from 10 different countries, and 4 different quarter ounce gold coins from 4 different countries. So far with the 10th ouncers, I'm 60% complete, and with the quarter ouncers, I am 25% complete. To be honest with you, I'm probably going to end up working on the quarter ounce one far more than the 10th ounce one. I'm kind of over the premiums on these. I only need 4 more. I'll get them, but I'm much more focused on quarter ouncers. And here's that last one. My latest. So I started stacking silver initially to store value, and then it became, I don't want to say a hobby. See, that's how it started. It started as a hobby. And this might sound kind of strange, but I guess you can say it turned into a little bit of a lifestyle. Because I know every time I get paid at work, I basically treat my paycheck as a tool. Of course you got to pay the bills. Of course you got to buy food and pay for everything you got to pay for. But what's left over, I like to take maybe a third or maybe a half of what's left over, and I convert it into even more silver. And then 2 weeks later, when I get paid again, I do the same thing. I don't get very much silver. I keep a little bit of what's left over as cash, and I take a little bit of what's left over and I invest. But the amount that I save as cash, the amount that I convert into silver, and the amount that I invest isn't anything overly substantial. I'm just some, average Joe. I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a millionaire by any means. But it almost feels like my obligation to just get more silver every paycheck. Every time the boss pays me in currency, I take some of that currency and I pay myself in money. Real, true, honest money. So I know that this video may or may not have been as structured as I wanted it to be. Initially, as I started recording the video, I was planning on dedicating half the video, like the first half, to talking about why I got started, and the second half talking about why I continued and why I'm still stacking. I think I covered those bases, but it was more of a straight-through storyline, I guess you can say. But I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic and what you think of the silver, what you think of the gold, especially if you're someone that's either brand new or maybe you're thinking about getting started stacking. Maybe it's something that you're considering, maybe it's something that you're just thinking about or looking into, or maybe somebody told you about it, now you're researching it and you stumbled upon this video. This was recorded for the brand new person out there. All of my other subscribers, they've probably heard me say a majority of what I said in this video. They probably heard it already. This video was for the brand new person. So I'm curious, whether you're brand new, whether you've been subscribed for a really long time, whether you've been stacking for the same amount of time I've been stacking for, or maybe you've been stacking for a year, maybe you've been stacking for 45 years. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic, along with why you started and why you continue to stack the precious metals.
And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller and easier to manage. I'm posting exclusive VIP-only adventure vlogs. I also do giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shoutouts, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button like a Karen hits a bus window. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. A bunch of brand new videos over there. Go check them out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 3,000 subscribers. We just hit 2,000, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies, which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products. T-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations at no additional cost to you. It comes out of my pocket, not yours. And of course, last but not least, the brand new DYDSS Karen Free Zone t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug.
My name is not Karen.
Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again,
what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? Talking about how I got started stacking. It all started with a basic, generic, secondary market silver round. It all started with this right here. This is where it all began. This is what kickstarted the entire stack for me about 3.5 years ago. A little bit more than 3.5 years ago, actually. This December, coming up on 4 years. What are your thoughts on my silver stacking journey so far? Starting with generic rounds, capsulating them, then realizing that they don't need to be capsulated, which, by the way, capsules and tubes are linked in the description. Realizing I didn't have to do that, so I put them in generic tubes, which are also linked in the description in case anybody needs these. Then as for Silver Eagles, I ended up pretty much doing the same thing, capsulating them, until I realized that I should probably just put them in mint tubes, which, friendly reminder, also linked in the description. And then when it came to the 5-ounce bars, the 10-ounce bars, the 90% silver, some of the collectible coins, the fractional rounds, the Aztec calendar, the silver Kraken, and of course the gold. What are your thoughts on everything covered in today's video? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. And remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.